so we're here to talk about polyatomic ionic compounds today. So you are going to need your ion reference sheet, unless you have all those polyatomic ions memorized, so that we know when we see chlorite what that means. So we're going to start, like usual, by just writing out what our ions are and their charge. So chromium 3, that's going to be Cr3+. We know it's +3 because of the Roman numeral. Now I'm going to go use my ion reference sheet to find out that chlorite is ClO2 -1. So first things first, let's balance our charges. Just because it's a big old ion doesn't matter, it still works the same way. Draw my particles with my charges to balance the charges. I am going to need to have 3 of those minus ions to 1 of the plus ion. So the only tricky part comes in when you write it. All right, my Cr, and if I need 3 of this whole thing, I'm gonna have to put it in parentheses. Otherwise, it would look a little crazy if I just stuck that 3 at the end. It'd look like it was ClO23, right? That wouldn't make sense. So we put the whole thing in parentheses to say that 3 applies to the whole thing, kind of like in math class when you use parentheses. So here, mercury sulfate, again, same thing. So mercury, Hg, Roman numeral tells us it's got a +1 charge. Then we find that sulfate from our sheet, and we find out it's SO4 2-. So I have a +1 from mercury. My sulfate is -, and in this case, I need more positive. So I'll add my other +1 here. And my formula is Hg2SO4. Notice, if I only have one of the SO4, I don't need parentheses. You only use the parentheses when you have more than one of the polyatomic ion. But if there's only one, the parentheses would be redundant. They're not needed. So that's my final one. So aluminum chloride, that's another one. We saw chloride up here, so we'll do that one really quick, and then I'll give you the chance to practice the next two on your own. So aluminum is a 3+ charge. Chlorite, it's a -1 charge. This is almost identical to the first one. It's just aluminum instead of chromium 3, but they have the same charge. So remember, we use those parentheses when we show that we need more than one of that group. Okay, so I want you to pause and try the next two on your own. When you come back, the answers will be there. So go ahead and hit pause. All right, come on back and check. So for sodium cyanide, you should have gotten NaCN. So Na is a +1 ion. Cyanide, Cn, is a -1 ion. So they're already balanced. And then for chromium 3 permanganate, chromium 3, again, that 3 tells us it's a +3 ion. Permanganate is a -1 ion, and even though it's a really big chunk here we're writing in parentheses, it still works the same way. So we have Cr parentheses MnO4 and parentheses L3, and that's it.